What's going on, everybody? So welcome to the second video about outbound emailing and the new method that I use, okay? In the previous video, I was talking about the 13 steps to being able to build that list. Now you should have that list put together and be ready to start actually outbounding email. And this video is going to be talking about exactly what I put into those emails and what my template looks like for you to use. All right, now to get started, I want you to understand exactly who you're going to be emailing. Because like I said in the last video, right, the biggest difference between the first initial method that I used for the first 18 months of being in business versus what we're using now is who we were emailing and not how much we were emailing. So the email that you're going to be reaching out to is no longer going to be, a company email that doesn't get checked. It's not going to be a tired receptionist who's too lazy to actually see if your service is actually needed or not. And it's definitely not going to be an invalid email address. Why? Well, because that email was pulled from a permit with the most recent contact information. So you are now going to be emailing the decision makers. And that's where the biggest difference happens with this method. Now, at the beginning, when I realized this and I said, okay, wow, I'm pulling some really, really good emails here. I'm pulling some, contact information that cannot go to waste. I realized that our email had to do two things. And so I started revising the templates that I had, and I started really tweaking the message that I was putting into these emails based on these two key things, which is number one, it has to be read in full. Okay, so my email message could not be too short and it could not be too long. It had to be just right where the contractor is able to get in, read it, get the idea, understand who we are, understand the value that we can provide, and then be willing to take action. And then number two, it has to thoroughly communicate our experience. This one here is important because we want that first response. We want them to reply with an opportunity rather than to respond with more qualification questions. All right, that's our goal. So the time in business that you're in, or the time in business that your business has, it's gonna help. But if you're new, it isn't 100% needed, okay? So if you're new, there's gonna be a few ways that can be around it, especially when it comes to what you're gonna be able to put into the actual email itself. All right, so having references and having completed projects, if you do have them, this is gonna help you extremely well. This is gonna help position your company as one company with experience and as one company that they can reply with an opportunity rather than with more questions to really vet and see who you are. But if you don't have them, then what you're going to do is you're going to simply focus on the volume, right? So remember that the way that I used to do it, I was only focused on volume, but I didn't have any quality emails to send it to. It works because of so many output and so many emails that I was sending, but now you have volume with this new list, but you also have quality email addresses, which I didn't have. And so I wish I had this quality of email list and the volume from day one. There's no telling where our business would be. And again, that is what my purpose with these videos is that I took, over 18 months to figure that out so that you, if you're just starting or if you've been having a hard time in the last year, that you're able to do it now and that you're able to implement the right way without having to beat yourself up for 18 months and just force your way through to get results. One of the things that I will like to mention to those subcontractors that don't have references and that don't have completed project pictures is that contractors are swamped. And this could be a good thing, and this could definitely work in your favor. It definitely worked in my favor at the beginning, right? Because one of them is going to give you a shot. What I mean by this is that contractors are going to have so much going on that they may forget to say, you may email them 3-4 times that they may just be like, you know what? I all of a sudden my painter is doing a horrible job. You're a painter that just keeps following up, and they say, hey, here's this job, bid it for me, let's see if we can build something, right? And dude, when you get that opportunity, because it's going to happen, because if you put out enough volume, it's going to happen. When you get that opportunity, fucking execute. There is going to be nothing more important than executing on that, than communicating the whole time with them, than having a clean ass painting finish, whatever it is, execute. Because that guy is going to be the first person that's going to turn into a reference so that you can start following up with references now. You want to build your references, man, because these quality references are your leverage. Okay, they're a huge leverage. I've noticed it. I'm currently seeing it now, right? Having spent over a year building relationships like these with quality builders, that year was more than worth it. So even though I'm telling you right now, like, oh, 18 months and you're going to save so much time, like, yes, you are. But I'm grateful for the time that I spent doing that, because right now I can really see the difference of having references, quality references versus not. Again, it's not to say that it's not possible if you don't have them. I'm just saying that you're going to have a lot better of an outcome out of the gate if you do have them. But back to the guys who don't have them, I still wholeheartedly believe that the simple quality of contact information that this list produces is enough to increase your workflow in the next 30 days. Hands down, I guarantee it. This list delivers. You just gotta be willing to put it in. As you can see, if you've watched these videos, these are not short videos. These are not videos that are super enjoyable to consume. Okay? There's nothing tactical. I don't have any fancy pop-ups here, and it's for a reason. It's because this shit's boring. These videos are gonna be just as boring, but like, this is the shit that got us to where we are. So if you see my videos, if you see what we're doing, how much we're proposals, like what we have coming in, you know, the success that we had, how I went from nothing to now being able to record in our own office, right? Because previously, you know, 8 months ago, I was recording in my room. Like, if you see that and you say, I can have that too, then this is what it's gonna take. So before I give you the actual template structure of it, I wanna give you a few pro tips, right? And that's that you wanna do research on your current clients, okay? So if you have current clients now, you may have some clients who actually have some award winnings and some accomplishments that they have on their website that you may have just never given your time to go and see. If you do have those, and if you do find some of them, you wanna make note of who those clients are, because these are going to be your references. Like, those are going to be the 2 to 3 clients that you want to add as your references. All right. And the reason is because associations win bids. All right. I realized this, that a lot of the people that I started converting started happening when I started including the top 3 builders in the area. And it wasn't no surprise to me really when I realized it, because it just makes sense, right? If you're a current vendor for a quality builder who has built up presence over the last 15 to 20 years, and you're able to say, hey, I work for Tampa Bay's best custom home builder A, okay, but I also want to work for you, it's going to give them more confidence in using you, because they're going to say, oh yeah, man, that guy has gotten, you know, the Best of the Bay award and the best customer ratings overall in last year, and whatever award that they've gotten, right? Just because they've gotten that award and because you're in with them will make them want to use you, because they know that those guys are not going to be using anybody that's not actually doing and performing for them. And as a side note, these references do get checked, okay? All of mine at one point or another have gotten checked. So my word of advice to you is be honest, because it takes 10 years to build up your brand and it'll take 10 seconds to destroy it. You can destroy your name with a simple white lie that you think is going to help you get work, and because you have a need for it, they don't care. Be honest, man. So let's get into the actual template and how it's structured for you to use. The subject for me is going to be very simple, but it has to be kind of captivating. For me, what I found work is saying trusted, insert your niche, vendor, right? So trusted siding vendor. Then a really quick intro where you're going to say who you are, who your company is, and the service that you provide. You want this to be one sentence. However you wanted to do it, however you want to combine it, make sure that it is one sentence. It's nice, short, direct with those 3 things. On the third one, you want to say what sets you apart, right? So what's your value, right? Hey, we prioritize communication and we complete everything in a timely manner, right? We don't sacrifice quality and we get things done on your schedule. You know, all of your proposal submittals will get submitted to you within 24 hours. Whatever it is that you feel is valuable to you and sets you apart, that's where you want to put it. Next one is going to be listing the top 3 current clients or references. All right, if you have them, this is where you want to go, and what you want to include is the company name, the contact name of that person, what position they have. So are they the vice presidents? Are they the supervisors? Whatever they may be. And their contact info. Then you want to include call to action number 1. This is going to be the first thing that gives them a nudge to respond to you. So for example, if there are any open projects, we'd love the opportunity to bid or schedule a meeting, right? This is asking them a question like, if there are something, then we want the opportunity, or we can schedule a meeting. So now they have 2 options to take here. I've had not a lot, but maybe 3 to 5 over the last, almost 2 years of clients who respond with, hey, yeah, let's set up a in-person meeting, let's set up a Google meeting. What it does is it generates a response, and that response is usually a very good email with a good signature, with good contact phone number that you can follow up on a later date. Then you want to put in your contact information. So your email and your phone number for any additional questions that they may have. That's literally the verbiage that I would use. That's the verbiage that I do use. Is here's my email and my phone number. If you have any additional questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me directly. Then you do call to action number 2, so giving them another reason to respond to your email. So for example, if you would like to see some recent work, let me know and I will provide. There's still going to be clients who want to be sure that they're using somebody that knows what they do, that want addresses, whatever it may be. Here you're giving them another opportunity to respond to something. So rather than having to think, they could just respond. And I've gotten a few of them that say, hey, yeah, send me your recent, top 2 recent siding projects for me to drive by. Again, it generates a response. You see a nice signature from their behalf with a nice phone number and contact information for you to continue your follow-up. And lastly, you're going to include the email signature, your email signature. So that's the basic template. That's what you want to use. Follow that. Go back and pause the video. Write that down. Use it. But here are some pointers that you want to note. Okay. Pointer number 1 is you want to keep your grammar simple, right? You don't want to overcomplicate it. Fancy words don't communicate too well to contractors. They don't give a shit, right? They're not writers. They're not the publishers. Like, they don't care about you using fancy per se words, right? Just keep it simple and communicate what you want. Point number 2, don't include pictures on the first email. I've tried this. It doesn't work. It makes the email super huge. Most of your files aren't going to load for them anyways because they're going to open it on their mobile. And so it's just useless, right? Instead, use call to action number 2 so that they can respond. All right. Pointer number 3, if you see their name in the email, address them by their name. Mr. Smith, Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Johnson, Sam, like whatever. If you see a name, use it. Okay. Pointer number 4, think about the emails that you get. All right. This is big. I definitely, without exaggerating, at least a week just going through and thinking and actively assessing every email that came to me during that week and saying, oh man, I really clicked through that one. Or wow, I really read that email. Well, shit, why did I read that email, right? Which is point them. It's like, which ones are you skipping through? Why did you skip through that one? Was it too long? Was it boring? Did the subject line, was it that just like nothing? Did it seem scammy? What was it, right? And then the ones that you did read all the way, why did I read it? Was it nice and short? Did it have a nice picture? Did it have something that popped up? Like what made me read it? These are how you want to assess the emails that you're currently getting, that you're currently consuming, so that it can tell you what to tweak on yours to have more of a chance to getting yours open and viewed. All right, so you want to know what works and what doesn't work on you. These GCs are going to be consumers just like you. 9 times out of 10, what works on you is probably going to work on somebody else. But most importantly, the biggest tip that I can give you is track the emails. Now, this is going to cost a little bit of money because for you to track it, you got to have some kind of software. Thankfully, for me, the CRM that I use came with that as a free add-on, so I'm able to see exactly who opens the emails, how many times they open it, and then when they open it. Every time that they open the email, I get a notification. Like I said previously, right? If a client is opening a certain email a lot more than somebody else, it's because they either have a need for your vendor, there's something in there that they're liking, they're maybe reviewing your references. Something is going on there that allows you to follow up in 30 days or whenever your follow-up is to say, hey, I noticed you opened this email for 20, 25 times. Is there any additional questions that I can help you, right? Or that could simply be a call and have the same conversation. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, this is Mundo. I'm following up. Listen, I saw that you opened the email about me wanting to be a vendor about 25 times. Is there something that I can help you with? Is there a question that you had? It invites a conversation, but this also gives you creativity in following up. So that is the end of this video. Those are going to be the methods that I guarantee anybody, any subcontractor that's willing to do that work, that's willing to do that boring shit, that's willing to sacrifice a week of their time into figuring this out and putting this all into place, that if you do this for 30 days, your business is going to grow. Hands down, it's going to grow. I'll see you on the next video where I summarize course number 1 onto mental frames that are going to help you and understand why you just gotta do it. Right? Stop making excuses. Our subconscious naturally pushes us to the easy choice, which is not doing this, which is, hey, I'm doing good right now, I don't need it. You're never going to need it if that's the way that you're thinking. But I just implore you that if you really want a different future, if you really want to grow, these are going to be the things that have helped us. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I want them to help other people. If you found any value in any of the videos that I've uploaded so far and that you've taken so far, I always invite you to send over a message on Instagram, leave a comment on the YouTube, send me an email with questions or concerns that you may have. I'm always inviting those because those help me really perfect what I'm trying to do here so that I can continue to help more subcontractors like yourself and give the industry something that is needed, which is a valuable subcontractor. I'll see you guys in the next video.